Hello, everyone. We are back, and we are so glad to have you. My name is Mark Blanton, and this is
LaTasha Blanton.
and welcome to the real South Africa. How have you guys been? It's been a while since we had an opportunity to chat with you guys, so we figured, it's about time for us to meet you guys live on all of our platforms. So obviously, you can go to all our platforms and find us there. And of course, thank you. Yes, the thumbnail that we put up is fire and whatnot. So we just wanted to come to you guys and just kind of, have like a chat. Us here in South Africa, we get the president always coming on TV. He's having a family meeting. So we figured we would do the same thing here at the real South Africa.
It's time for a family meeting. It's been a while. But you guys have been awesome supporting us. We thank you very much for that. We've got hopefully we've got a lot more things to continue to share with you as we live out our true lives, the life we want out here in South Africa. So we thank you guys for just supporting us and doing all of that. So we're gonna hop right into
What? That's not
what?
This is very, very interactive. So if you have a question, or you want to make a comment, obviously everyone can see the comments, so you can put that out there as well. And of course, we can see your comments as well. So if there's a question that you may have throughout this entire broadcast, feel free to put it out, and then we will answer it the best that we can, if we can get to it, because we generally have a lot of comments flowing through. So, but we're more than happy to try to.
What up, Caleb?
Yeah, I see some of our usual suspects is here. His name is Caleb Sampy. He's in Joburg as well. So we have a lot of South Africans here. You guys can chat with each other, I would assume, and then we will have some people from America and from the UK here as well. Yeah, well, actually,
they're awake, but I mean, it's like if they're not, I'll say if they're not at work.
Well, actually, they are at work. In the States, it's 6 hours behind, so it's only 3:30, 3:33, 3:35. So some people are getting off. Some people should be at work. Some probably are off, but probably should be at work, if you know what I mean. So, like, for example, this individual here, Vernon, he's still working on it. Yeah, okay. Well, he's saying he's getting here. He's trying to get himself here to South Africa.
Come on.
And so forth. But this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. So again, if you have any questions, especially those that are here in South Africa, because hello, Brandy, how you doing? Because you guys in South Africa are the ones that are actually making all this possible.
100%.
You guys have a great country. Most of the time that when we're out in the streets, we don't even notice what's going on. And there's people saying, "Hey, I think I know them," and then they say, "Hey, aren't you from the real South Africa?" And we're like, yeah. How you doing? And you tend to catch us at our worst time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say what's up to Mr. L. We're doing great tonight, and then I'm just gonna add to his little. They see us out. I think it's been about 2 weeks now. And I'm gonna go ahead and fall on my sword and say, Mark said to me before I left that morning, he said, "Are you sure you want to go out like that?" And I said, "I'm gonna be straight back." And I promise you, the 5 minutes I thought I was gonna be out and get back, someone said, do I know you from TV? And I was like, oh, I look like a hot mess today. And
no, she did.
I really did like a hot mess. But it was cool. I'm human. I live here. I do regular stuff every day. So they asked me at my worst, could we take a picture? And we did. But they showed me a lot of love, and I appreciate them for that. So made a couple new connects. Found someone that's an avid book reader, and someone that makes cupcakes. So as far as I'm concerned, it was a win for me. Even though I wasn't dressed. So if you see us out, whether you look a hot mess or not, you are more than welcome to say hello.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, no, we're just as excited to meet you guys as well, because like I said, this is your country. We're just fortunate that we got an opportunity to live here and so forth. But to move on, things are very doing very well here in South Africa. The weather is finally changing. You keep in mind that we have reverse seasons, or in the U.S., you guys have reverse seasons. It all depends on how you look at it. We're coming out of winter. You guys are leaving summer. The weather is finally broke. It's broken. I think up in the Drakensbergs, which is a mountain range that we have here, kind of like the Appalachian in the U.S. It was snowing just a few days ago.
Yeah, just last week.
Yeah. So things are getting warm, and it's going to be warm all the way through December, January, February, March, April. In May, we'll start cooling off again.
Yeah.
So when those that are saying to us, when's the best time to travel? Now is the best time, because the weather right now in U.S. terms, Fahrenheit, I know my South Africans will be like,
what is 80 degrees?
It's 80 degrees.
What is that?
Yeah, because here in South Africa, if it's, I think anything over 25, you're doing very well for yourself. And then, of course, there's some times, especially if you go up in Limpopo and some of those areas, you start hitting 40 Celsius. That is melting. That's well over 100 degrees. And
good. That's that good heat.
Yeah,
that's that good heat.
Yeah. So
egg on the pavement kind of heat.
So I see how I said, how's it going, guys? Actually, like I said, it's going pretty well. Things are getting good. The grass is starting to turn green again. People are doing things in their yards and getting everything pretty again. Of course, everybody keeping the cars clean and so forth. So everybody's, it's starting to get back. It's not like it was pre-COVID, where everybody was just, South Africa is a party. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. However, people figure out ways to get it done anyway. It's just that you gotta kind of just be a little bit more careful, and that's about it. What do you think?
No, I think it's truly turning into spring here. I love seeing all of the bushes that we planted a couple years ago growing wonderfully. I've got a speck boom that's doing its thing for the environment, getting big. My rose bush looks good, and all of my neighbors have wonderfully manicured lawn. So it's just nice to know that spring is coming. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, I'm looking at this post from the Mad Titan. That's a all right, Thanos. Greetings, everyone. Spring has sprung. This is the best time to dust off your passports and visit Nzanzi.
I agree.
It is.
I agree.
It is. Now, one of the things that we want to chat with you about, obviously you guys have been watching our channel. And if you're on one of the other platforms, go over to our YouTube channel. We'll put that information up while we're here, and you will get the opportunity to go to our YouTube channel. We've been outside a little bit. We had a couple little competitions. Me and Tasha, we're very competitive. We do, we play Uno competitively.
Literally, like all night trying to decide what we're gonna do, because we definitely do not like to lose. So, yeah.
So we was outside putting.
Yeah.
We have a putting range, right here where we live, and it's been fun. It's been real fun, actually. Tasha, I think I beat Tasha in that. I'm not sure.
You always leave me when I did get 2 in a row that day.
Yeah, you did. You did the most. You did the most. Obviously, but I play a little bit more than she do, just a little bit more, not much more. And then we ended up playing. We ended up going to bowl, and all these videos are on our YouTube channel. So you will see we went to bowl, and normally I'm a good bowler. I'm really good. Most people who know me that I can bowl, and Tasha never beats me. For some odd reason, we turned the camera on, and that was over.
Had nothing to do with the camera. Nothing to do with the camera. We'll see you in August 2022. No problem.
Yeah.
No. So that day, I was just on my game, and he just doesn't want to admit that.
No, she killed it. No, I admitted it in the video. She killed it. But go back to that video. It's on our YouTube channel. You'll be able to see that. You'll be able to to see that as well.
I will say that was probably the best I've ever bowled.
It was up there.
Like legit.
Yeah.
And back in the States, we had every type of equipment you could think of: bikes, bowling balls, tennis rackets. So we did a lot of competitive things on a regular basis. But I won that day, so I'm gonna.
She did. No, she killed it. I can't deny. I can't. So, but I will tell you this. We do have a real robust website. It's called therealsouthafrica.com. So if obviously a lot of you guys are interested in coming to South Africa for a lot of good reasons, I would say go to our website. Just look around, pick around, look at everything. And then when you get a chance, send us a message and say, hey, you know what? I looked at your website. I'm very interested in coming to South Africa. And of course, you can meet us. You can meet the rest of the South Africans that are here. We don't do the whole, you get to South Africa, put you in a bubble where you don't see anybody, and then cart you to places and bring you back. I know a lot of us in America are very used to those types of scenarios when you leave the country, where here you are amongst the South Africans. Actually, when you get here, chances are you have been in there, they will probably start speaking to you in Zulu, and you'll be like, what? And then by the time they hear you say what, they will be very kind and speak English to you. Keep in mind that most people here speak 5, 6, 7 languages, even more. We generally only speak one, so I don't know which is greater, 5 or 1, but at least they're kind enough to try to, speak English, for us. Thank you.
The only thing that we do when we're speaking English is that we're learning to slow down when we talk.
Yeah.
I think that we talk fast just by nature, and that can be a little bit difficult sometimes if we're not really communicating well. So I'm thankful that they're very quick to tell me to slow it down. So
yeah. Okay. So that's that. So we have a lot of plans, as far as us being here in South Africa. We plan on looking at going to new restaurants, going to new places, going to do new things. We've been kind of limited a little bit simply because of COVID restrictions. I just kind of want to go over that a little bit as far as how it works here in South Africa. In the U.S., we see you guys, and I got a lot of friends that are in the U.S. So it's kind of hard for me to even understand. How can I say? Why you're calling it a restriction? Here in South Africa, they actually we still do have COVID restrictions. They're not as difficult as they used to be. Yeah,
I think we're used to them now.
Yeah.
But I think South Africa has done what they're supposed to do as far as they're trying to keep us safe. And it's funny, if you see people without a mask on right now, you're like, why don't you have a mask on? So even if you vaccinated or not, you still need to follow the rules that the country's put in place. So
yeah, just being safe. So we've been safe. So that means that we don't need to be in big crowds. Even though we go to restaurants, if there's a lot of people there, we kind of like go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
We try not to be in we got invited to weddings. We kind of say not this time and whatnot. So but we try to be safe. So but things are easing up very well here in South Africa. So our plans are to get out really soon. So you're going to see a lot more from us. So stay with us. Obviously on our platforms, you'll be able to find us, see what we're doing. And of course, if you guys, especially those guys in the US and the UK and that are looking at trying to travel, then, reach out to us. And of course, as time goes on, we will put everything together for you. Now, Daryl, I put his question there. It says, almost all your clients that come on a visit say in their testimonial interviews that they want to live here in South Africa. How many of them are actually now in the process of transitioning over to South Africa? Let me explain something to you. First of all, that's only a small number of people that we interview. Everybody, don't want to interview, or we just don't have time to do interviews because they spent their money on their trip. So it's not about doing an interview. It's about them enjoying their time here in South Africa, being able to do these things. Sometimes they make an extraordinary effort because they want you as the consumer to say, hey, you know what? I went to South Africa. I want to do that. They want they want you to know about the experience. So sometimes they're like, can we just do an interview? I say, okay, fine. So we will do one, but that's not like really what we're here for. We're here to make sure that while they're here in South Africa, with all the support that we have around, that people are having a good time. There are several people that are in the process of doing it, coming to South Africa properly, meaning that they're getting their visas, they're applying for their critical skills. But what happens is, Daryl, just to help you out, a lot of these people, a lot of our clients or travelers, they were thinking about it. Then they got here and they saw it for themselves. And then now they're like, Oh,
This is it.
yeah. So now they don't have a problem. I'm trying to slow down my speech. They don't have a problem going back home and putting in their paperwork and doing all the stuff they got to do, because now they're knowing what they're getting into. They didn't hang out on the internet for forever and then just decide to come to South Africa. So that's kind of how that worked. But yeah, we do have a few people that are in the process. Quite a few that are looking at coming. But again, we do have a lot of people that come and they just want to have a good time. They want to have one of the best vacations they've ever had. They say it to us all the time, and in those same interviews, you hear it a lot. So, but that's a really good question. Another question here, Craig. How you doing, Craig? He said the restaurant doesn't count unless you have signature cutlery. We do have signature cutlery. We were fortunate enough because we go there and we recommend signatures. Am I right?
We love signature. We love the owner. We love, actually both of his restaurants are amazing. And because we do patronize quite often, not just with our guests, but on our own, they decided that they would grace us with some quote unquote signature cutlery, which has our names on it. So.
Absolutely. Excellent. So basically that's kind of like how that works. But people are lining themselves, even though that we're in COVID safety protocols right now. There's still a lot to do. There's still a lot of places to go. Once you've been here for a hot minute, you wouldn't even realize that we are in safety protocols. Even though you'll see everybody wearing a mask, everybody sanitizing their hands and doing a little bit of social distancing. Here in South Africa, we got really good at that. Really good at it. So yeah.
Just get used to it.
Okay.
Thanks, Mr. L. I appreciate that.
Keep in mind, like I said, for those who are just joining us, this is an interactive scenario. So if you have a question, please type it in there. We see you, and then we can answer your question. If you have a valid question, we can definitely answer it, and we can move forward and so forth.
Oh, thanks. Love you back.
So again, we do plan on getting out more so you can see more of South Africa. Obviously, you can go to our YouTube channel. We've been a lot of places, so those videos, if you've never seen them before, you can go back and check them out. You will be absolutely amazed of what's here in South Africa.
I think the beauty of when you say you will always be amazed is that I recently spoke to another South African citizen, and she basically said there's always something to do here, like no matter where you go. So when we're putting together your packages, just keep in mind that we can't really do everything, but what we do put together for you, I promise you, it's quite amazing. And we haven't really had any complaints, because they like the combination of being able to have a little bit of culture by seeing like some of the historical stuff that goes on. Obviously you have to go to Soweto, like that's like a must. Getting a little bit of the history, and then just being able to be around the people. But most people really do just love the people and the food. I'm almost speechless, because I really do believe that the people and the food make up a huge part of why South Africa is so amazing. And, just to, give another round of applause to the South African people, our most recent guest that left, the hotel staff was so amazing to them that they actually started calling them mom and dad. They were here for almost 3 weeks, and they just said that they love how the people embraced them and made sure they were okay. And that's just the nature of a lot of the South Africans, that we run into. And that's the beauty of what you get to feel when you get here. So when you are at your hotel and you're walking around, trust me, the people are going to greet you and want to share with you who they are. And that's, part of the draw when it comes to, our packages. Like, you really get to interact with the people and eat the food. And trust me, they socialize a lot.
Oh yeah, they
socialize. So if you grab some food and some South African people, the things that you're going to be able to exchange and learn is mind blowing. It actually is. I mean, I learn something new every day, even when I'm not trying.
Exactly. So, like I was telling you before, we're on Twitter. Let me put that back up for you. We are on Twitter. So if you're looking get some information. Now, the reason why we do that, because sometimes it's just easier for us to put stuff on Twitter. So you may not find it on a different platform. So you probably want to find us out there. And then obviously we was chatting about the YouTube channel. Right now we're broadcasting on YouTube, but you might be watching on Facebook. So you might want to go to our YouTube channel. You'll find a lot of good information there as well, as far as who we are, what we do, what's going on. We post fairly regularly, so you can always expect to see a brand new upload from us. So that's something that you might want to do as well. And then of course, our Instagram page is growing. It's growing, and so we would love to see you guys there on our Instagram page, because again, some of the things that are on Instagram are not on Twitter, and some things that are on Instagram are not on our YouTube channel. So we try to cover the gamut, because there's people that like certain platforms.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and there's a new platform coming out as well. I'm gonna keep that to myself, but it's coming. It's coming. So, and then of course, you can always go to our website, therealsouthafrica.com. Keep in mind, for those that don't know, and some of you guys already know, that we're based here in Johannesburg, South Africa, and we're here all the time. We're part of the tourism, industry here. So we know a lot of people in the industry. We're regularly updated as far as what's going on. And then when we have questions or we need some assistance, or people come to us and say, hey, we're doing something big in tourism, the Real South Africa is here. Maybe we can collaborate with them. So we have a lot of opportunities in the tourism space. So like one of the things that we're doing now, one of our initiatives is that we're going to start bringing packages for those that are in South Africa. Yeah, that's coming up like really, really, really soon, maybe even tomorrow. But no, for real, it's coming up really soon. So you'll be able to find on one of our platforms if you signed up, like some of the packages that we endorse. So we're working with some guys here who are very strong in the tourism space, very motivated. And we met with those guys, and we felt that, hey, maybe we can do some work with them, because they got to do things on our level, the way that we like it. And so we want you guys, to be able to, have the real South Africa experience.
Mm-hmm.
So that's extremely important to us. So again, but the best way to figure it out from our perspective is to actually be on one of our platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You gotta find us there.
Yeah.
And you can send us messages there. You can always schedule a phone call. We try and make ourselves available to talk to the people, whether they're in South Africa or in another country. We have all forms of, ways to communicate with you. So we try to make sure that we can, get whatever you're looking for done.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it all starts with you guys, contacting us, giving us a call, visiting our website. That's kind of how all that starts. So all those people that you've seen and didn't see that has come here, even though through COVID, even though flights were canceled and rescheduled, they came anyway. They all had a wonderful time.
Shout out to the people that visited despite their flight being canceled multiple times.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? I'm coming. And they did whatever they did. We do flights for this very reason, actually. But they were like, no, the universe wants me there, and I'm going to do what I got to do to be there. And when they got here, they were so grateful that they stuck to it and decided to go ahead and come regardless of what it was looking like on that side. Yeah. So just know that, South Africa is here. It's welcoming. It has a lot to show you, a lot to offer you. We do our very best to make sure you get more than you bargained for. And it's really, really easy to do simply because, like I said earlier, the people here make visiting South Africa very, very easy and very, very welcoming for you. So
yeah. And that's something that we do too, as a travel and tourism company, is that, during that phone call, right? During that phone call, we literally are listening to you. I know you're on your other line with your YouTube, your Google or whatever, thinking that, okay, I'm figuring this out. Keep in mind, we're 9,000 miles away. Keep in mind that every tourism bureau in the Republic of South Africa is talking to us, and we have access. So anything that you want to do, we can sort it out. We know what's going on. So take advantage of what we do. Those that have taken advantage of what we do, they all say the same thing. You know what? I wouldn't be able to do what I did if I tried to do this on my own. They all say the same thing, and it's not like we're boasting, but it's a true statement. It's true. You couldn't. I mean, we used to be those people a long time ago, and we found out that, you know what? That's why we did this, because we really wanted to. How can I say? We wanted to make it easier for those that are in the diaspora to come to South Africa because of all because they put a lot of effort into tourism here in South Africa, a lot, but you don't know anything about it because especially if you're sitting in North America, you're never going to hear about what's going on here in the Republic of South Africa in regards to tourism. Am I right?
You're so right. So right.
Okay.
Yes, so we are gonna definitely put together those local packages for you. Thank you for that.
Yep.
And those of you that are hoping to meet us Monday, I mean, we're always out. I'm sure we'll run into you at some point. So that's good to know.
Yeah. Now, let me see. I saw a question here that I kind of wanted to put up, and I think it's a really good question. It's from Tabasco. He said, what do you guys think South Africa does better than the U.S.?
Loaded question.
We do load shedding better. No, just playing. No, well, we do, because we get a chance to get some sleep and get things in during load shedding.
That's what you do during load shedding. You take a walk outside or you go to bed, take a good nap.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say this from, I've obviously lived in both places, and I'm not sure in what reference you're talking about, but I'm going to say, as far as from a tourism perspective, I think South Africa, I think the majority of the people here, or at least a good majority of the people, are in the tourism space. They either own a B&B, they own even a Uber, or they're in some ways working in the tourism space. So they understand what it means when somebody spends their money, their hard-earned money, and want to go on a vacation or want to go to what you call that place? I don't know, a bush lodge or something like that. So, you want to be treated well and you want to feel special. And so I would say in America, they don't really make you feel special. Let me give you an example. Let's say here I go to a restaurant. Let's say I go to the Signatures. I can sit there for 4 hours, 5 hours, listen to music, order me a meal, and I'm good. And they would be concerned with the service. Or it could be Rocco Mama's, same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, same thing.
We like Rocco.
Yeah, Rocco Mama's here is a fast food joint, but it's kind of not as fast as it. It's a fast food joint. So with that being said, in the States, I can be at a pretty high end restaurant, and I'm paying $200-$300, which is very easy US dollars, and they'll feed my courses. And then they just bring you the bill, and then it's like, okay, basically it's time to go. Now there'll be those that would disagree with me, but I would say, hey, it is what it is. So yeah. Then there's another question here. It's from Alicia M. She says, how are the measures in place for COVID-19? That's a good question for Dr. B.
So I'll just go over it again. So the measures in place are pretty much the same as they've been since day one when we went into lockdown last March, which is masks are compulsory or mandatory, sanitizing, and depending on where you are, there will be temperature checks and social distancing. So those things are still in place when it comes to travel to South Africa. The country is open. You just need to have a negative PCR test prior to arrival, around 72 hours prior to arrival, and then you'll have to get another test before you leave. The test is around $60 US. They do get your results back to you usually in about 24, actually more like 18 hours, but we say 24 to 48 hours. So we actually do make sure that you go to the right place to get the testing before you leave. So the COVID measures, as far as we're concerned, are definitely in place properly and are not hard to navigate.
Yeah, that one. But yeah, this is great. Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna leave that up there for a second, let that marinate. So, but yeah,
Oh, okay. I see that.
yeah,
Very
and this is
false.
another question here. How would you describe Joe Berg? I heard it was like New York of SA. I'm what?
What did no? We literally just had this conversation
Okay.
with someone a couple days ago, and they basically said that Johannesburg was like New York, except for the fact that the people in New York were rude.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah.
it is fast paced, but the people in New York will actually, you could ask for
Yeah.
directions in New York and they're going to be like, yeah, no. But if
Yeah.
you look lost in Johannesburg, they will actually
Help you.
help
Yeah,
you.
I would say I've been in New York several times, way too many times to count. And I'm not going to say it's like New York, but it is it's pretty big here. It's a big city. Joburg is massive, and it has so many different little municipalities within Joburg, which ultimately makes up Joburg, and so forth. I would say it's the people. The people are just um, you know I would describe Joburg as a major metropolitan area with the diversity of New York City because there's so many people from Africa and around the world that find themselves in Joburg for business or they just love it here. We call it in the States we call it leisure. Here they call it leisure. But it is what it is. It's a great city. It's here at the bottom of the earth in the southern hemisphere and it's awesome. It's really fun. It's so much going on. So in that regards, I would say that it's like New York City because in New York City there's always something going on.
The city never sleeps. I mean, the city actually only sleeps now because COVID puts to bed at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
But
but there's still people that are still trying to they're trying to push it.
Well, they push it in their homes and stuff. So
Yeah.
So they're trust me, they're gonna find a way to get it in. This is what we do.
Okay.
What's up?
Yeah, come on from the ATL.
Come on.
But like I said, so basically what we do is we try to make this process work. I know a lot of people in the US are like, I don't want to go to Africa. Why would I go to Africa? I mean, we can go on and on and on. Get that same person a ticket to Paris, he's gone. Get that same person a ticket to London, they're in London and they're going to be a minority. I think a lot of us we just used to being minorities. I don't know, and that's just off the top of my head. We like being in minority situations and saying, "Hey, we're the only ones." I don't know, but I will say that it's good being in the majority. If you've never done it, it's nice. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So this is a good question right here. I'm gonna put. It's somebody wrote, man, they need to have better standards when it comes to housing in South Africa. No showers in many homes or central heat. Bed bugs everywhere. Some got it, but the average they don't. Yeah, I would say it's more than most people have. I mean, we got plenty of friends. Most of our friends are South Africans, and I would say they would disagree. Central heat is kind of it's actually. I'm just going to cover that for a second. I leave the room that I'm in now, and I don't go upstairs all day. I don't need the heat there upstairs. I need the heat where I'm at.
Yeah.
And if I go upstairs and I'm going to be in my bedroom, I just need to cool my bedroom. I don't need to cool the kitchen. So I find that you save a lot of money by not trying to heat up the whole house all day, every day, just to stay warm. So I think that's definitely a plus in my humblest opinion. I'm not sure about bed bugs because we have plenty of bed stores here, and I've probably seen more bed stores here in South Africa than I've ever seen in my entire life. But I just wanted to be fair to you by putting your question up, and so other people can see it. But again, a person that comes here and spends some time here in South Africa would probably say something else.
They did. Don Parker told Mr. Joshua that was not true. So it's all good. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
it's all good.
Oh yeah. There we go. Okay. So again, the only way that you can experience, a lot of the things that we are talking about, a lot of things you see, is if you come here on a trip. Like I said, some people they come here and they're trying to figure it out. They spend a lot of time trying to figure it out. Where do I go next? Is the Uber coming in a few minutes? So, like, what are we doing? Obviously, we do things on a proper level. I think if you're coming 9,000 miles, literally 9,000 miles, you should be sorted. You should be properly taken care of. I mean, you should walk downstairs and there's a car waiting for you. When it's time to go to dinner, the meals are ready. Things should be that way. You know, that's just how I feel. What do you think, Tasha?
I mean, I normally don't disagree with you very
Mhm.
often, so I mean, I would have to agree with that wholeheartedly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't come here thinking you're gonna be staying at what's that, the Best Western, or
Yeah.
what's the other one, the Motel 6. For you guys that are South African, those are like low budget. That's like the Sun One.
Don't do that.
No, I'm just saying the Sun One is not nothing special. And
Yes,
whatnot.
Brandy, I'm a piano is the bomb music. You're exactly right. Love some fashion, some I'm piano.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
but everything that we're talking about, you know, and I will say, from someone who's from the U.S. and I lived there for 40 something year, 8 years now. I've been here for like however long now. I've rounded up to 52, so you do the math. I don't know, but I will tell you this, you know, as especially as those that are in the diaspora, I think you need to have another option. And so it's not always about moving to South Africa. A lot of times it's just coming to visit, or anywhere in Africa. You know, we do have friends that are that travel all throughout Africa, and that's great. We've been to another country or two. Plan on going to Botswana in December. It'll be nice and warm, thank God. But anyway, we do feel that. How can I say it to you? Get a passport.
Yeah.
Get a passport, because a lot of us, especially in the U.S., we just don't have a passport. You know, we just don't. And I would say that you need to get that first, apply for that. It's well worth it. It's actually one of the most powerful documents that you're going to have, because that document will allow you to travel. You know, it allows you to travel anywhere. And if it gets crazy, you know, then you're going to be over there looking for a passport and you don't have it. So, hey, you know, it is, I'm going to say, compulsory, you know? So another thing too, is that when you do have, you know, your passport, and you can have an association like we have with South Africa, it didn't start yesterday. It started a long time ago. And so you know, people are like, well, how could you leave America? I would say America left me a long time ago, from a perspective of we kept coming here, and we started feeling more comfortable being here in South Africa than we started being in the U.S. So every time we got some free time, we were here in this country, enjoying our friends, enjoying the freedoms, just enjoying what's available, you know. So it works out. It works out very, very, very well. So it is what it is. That's that, Nadi. Yeah. Why do so many Americans think Africa is just slums? Y'all need to come to see South Africa, African, for yourselves. It's not what you think it is, or been led to believe. It makes a lot of sense. I know one time, you know, people are like, oh, you know, people are educated now. There's the internet, but I would say where people are getting their education, where they're getting their education for their jobs and their professional career, that's where they're learning about Africa as well. So they're telling us on, you know, no uncertain terms, and these things pass down. You know, and so the story is, and if nobody never comes and corroborate the story, nobody never comes and checks and go back and report, say, hey, no, it's pretty nice over there, then we're just going to believe what's in any of those books or pamphlets. I mean, what do you think?
I think that, you know, as educated Americans, and as educated as we, you know, would like to think we are, a lot of the times we forget that to truly know what something offers or how something is, you have to do it. I can't talk to anyone that's never been to college about how college is, and they can't talk to me about, you know, fixing cars if I've never fixed a car, vice versa. Things that you actually participate in and actually experience, you can actually speak on. So, you know, I'm not saying that Google is wrong or reading the book or whatever they show you, you have to believe, but at some point, As a sentient being, you have to say to yourself, let me go and actually see what it is for myself, because I really want to know. And the only way to truly know is to come on a visit, which is why we do what we do, saying that, you know, no country is perfect. Obviously, the United States isn't perfect. We see enough bad press on it. But even with all the bad press, this is the part that doesn't make any sense to me. Even with all the bad press that comes, you know, as far as the South, as far as America is concerned, there's still people that still want to go. So it's like, how is it not the same? You can see bad press about South Africa and immediately be like, I don't want to go. But you see bad press about America all the time and still want to go there. So if you can look at it that way, you might say, okay, America's not all good. South Africa's not all good. Let me go see for myself. And I always encourage people, even the South Africans here that say they want to go to the US. I never tell them not to go to the US. I'm like, go see it for yourself, because that's the best way you're going to actually understand, you know, what it's like. And some of them are saying the same things that you guys are saying. Like, I'm afraid to go to America. It looks scary. You guys are not safe that side. So just keep in mind, like, if you keep an open mind, you need to come and see it for yourself, and you can make your own, you know, informed decisions based on your experience here. And that's kind of why we do what we do. So you can actually have an experience and make your own decisions.
Well, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it first right here. But yeah, that's what happened to us. I mean, that's our story. So that's why we always encourage, and we always going to encourage, and we're always going to encourage that you come here on a trip, spend some time here in South Africa amongst the people. You can't live inside Google forever. You got to come out. The sun is.
I want to stay inside.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is, and you know, but we do understand, you know. So when, you know, our South African friends are asking questions about, well, why do, you know, Americans, you know, especially African Americans, don't come, or they say what they say, because when they're watching our videos, especially those on the what you call it, the first impressions, people are genuinely shocked. Trust me, don't think that they're hamming it up for the camera. They are genuinely shocked of what they see, because we believe what we believe, and we believe it very passionately and very strong. I won't say strongly, only that's a word. But anyway, it is. Okay, good. So, but they believe it. And when they get here, they're like, Black people don't supposed to live like this. And then I think one of the biggest, is that you know, they feel like they were doing it in the U.S. They're doing okay. They're like, wow, I got my, blah, 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 blah. And which is fine. And then they get here and they see Africans who don't supposed to be living better than you. I don't care what you say, but they're living better than you. It wears on them. You start thinking, like, what am I doing?
Yeah. It makes you second guess a lot of things.
Yeah.
It was something I was getting ready to say. What I really, really love about when we talk about dismantling the perceptions that we have about Africa, what I love is when we have people who have children here, small kids, teenagers on the way down, and they don't really have any preconceived notions about South Africa because they're too young to really have heard anything, you know. But they come here and they eat it up and they love it, and they're so raw and so open, and they literally take it all in. And you look at their parents like, man, if I had been able to come here when I was younger, like, would I be wide open like my kid is? Because the kid is like, oh, this is dope. And they're trying to, 13-year-olds are like, normally they're like behind their phone trying to do, no, these kids were doing their thing. And I said, this is what kids are supposed to do. Actually be in an environment where they feel comfortable and safe, and be with other people that they don't feel unsafe around. And they, honest to God, the kids have been the most, impressionable to me. Wanting to come here, wanting to stay. A lot of the kids are like, I think the cutest thing, I'm gonna tell this and I'm gonna stop.
Okay.
Cutest thing, 7-year-old was having her COVID test before she left and was hoping that she tested positive so they could stay 10 more days for quarantine. I'm like, who wants to test positive just so they can stay? But that's how much she loved it here. And I'm like, she's 7. She's 7 and she's like, I'm trying, in her mind, she's like, the best way for me to stay here is just test positive for COVID.
Yeah.
They had school, obviously, because
Yeah,
school started back in the States. But
they was here for 3 weeks.
They were here for 3 weeks. But think about it. I mean, she's 7 and she's feeling like the adults are feeling like she doesn't want to leave either. That's how awesome this country is. If you're open to it, it will definitely give you what you don't even know you need, but you got to get here first to see that. Like, that's the beautiful part to me. So
okay,
yeah.
I have another question here.
Yes, we have.
Obviously, I hope you guys are looking at the chat line. Keep in mind, if you are watching this and you just joined us, I'm Mark Blanton and this is LaTasha Blanton from the Real South Africa. We are a travel and tourism company. We are based in Johannesburg, so we're up and close and personal to South Africa on every day.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. I'm not a fan of ESCOM either. I'm just saying, just to let you know that I'm here. You all my South African friends. But the question is, have you guys visited the Eastern Cape? Yes. There's actually a video in there. There's some other people that tell you that, yeah, there's a video we did on Eastern Cape. And so what do you enjoy most about it? We enjoyed that it was the Eastern Cape.
Yeah.
No, it was, I mean, it is, every province in South Africa is different. It's not, I mean, even in the States, I mean, yeah, you can go from North Carolina to Virginia, slightly different. And as you travel about is different. And the same thing here, this is a large country. It's not just 3 cities. It's a large country. But it was absolutely enjoyable because there was beach. There's a coast. I think all of Eastern Cape is on the coastline. So there's always a beach to go to. There's always enclaves. There's always real trendy places to go and so forth. And it's easy to get around. And the weather is good most of the year. Down in the, keep in mind that the more south you go, the cooler it gets. That's opposite of the U.S. Yeah. But if you're gonna start going south, you start getting cool. But it's awesome. I mean, we enjoyed PE, which is the name change. We did St. Francis, Tizikama. We did the whole thing. It was beautiful. And then say, is it comparable to any state in the U.S.? I would be funny and say New Jersey, but that would be funny. I would say, I don't know. I'm an East Coast guy. So I would say, when you start getting around South Carolina, Georgia, Jekyll Island, that area, I would say that. If I would go West Coast, I would have to go, what is that place called? I would have to go, I can't remember what it's called. There used to be a football team there, and they moved. San Diego. I have to say San Diego. So
you guys are killing me in the comments. I'm sorry, I'm over here laughing. I know he's talking, but I am dying laughing. I think there was a question really quick about the PCR test. The PCR, the nasal pharyngeal test, is the one that's required to enter South Africa. I think somebody asked that question, so I wanted to get that out because we already answered that. So yeah.
But yeah, we do need our TV. We do need our own TV show. We're working on it. You'll be surprised. We actually got a documentary that we're doing. I probably shouldn't have said it, but I did. I shouldn't have said it. I didn't say that. Take all that out. That's what's going on. Somebody said here. So we hear about Johannesburg and Cape Town, but what do you think are the most underrated parts of the country that Americans rarely go to? Ooh, that's pretty good. I'm gonna say Durban. Durban is freaking incredible. Then you got the whole coastline. You can go all the way up as far. You can go all the way to Mozambique, but Richards Bay. And then of course you can go down to East London because you're on a coastline. I mean, you got the Indian Ocean, and the Indian Ocean is not like the Atlantic. Meaning the Atlantic is a cold water ocean. Yeah. The Indian Ocean is warm water.
It is.
Yeah, and they have dolphins. A lot of dolphins. Yeah. So it is what it is. So I think I answered that particular question.
You're welcome, Marcus.
Okay. So we've been here roughly about 3 years now. So I think we have a good dose of what South Africa is and isn't in reference to being a what you call it an immigrant. I'm an immigrant here, and I'm a citizen of America, but I'm an immigrant here, and I have rights and privileges here in South Africa. But I will tell you that even though you're coming from America and you want to come here, obviously you're going to come as a tourist and you're going to go through the real South Africa, obviously. to get it done. But keep in mind, there is a process. They have I mean, this is their own country, and being an American doesn't give you, oh, I can just. No, you have to go through the processes, and we can assist you in that in some ways, and so forth. So, but keep in mind that if you ever decide that you wanted to, first visit, hit us up. We can make sure that your visit is perfect. In every way, we can get you in pretty much any province, and to include the bush. We call them bush lodges here. You got some 5-star bush lodges that are better than some of the best, and they're in the woods, and they don't tear down everything just to build it. However the terrain is, however it is, and they build it, and then it's built, and it's absolutely incredible. So that's how that works, and so forth. So, but yeah, so that's that. Again, for those of you guys I'm glad you guys are finding us and actually sending questions.
Yeah. Sorry if we missed any, guys.
Yeah,
they're coming in pretty fast.
Yeah. Okay. So was in Atlanta, and Coke organized a driver for me. I asked the guy to have dinner at his house, and he looked on his face, told it all. Please see if you can organize some in the U.S. Yeah, that's a America's a different ball game than it is here. There's not a lot of organizing going on for people that are not their friends, and even the friends don't even get the invite half the time. So just be glad that they spoke to you. Yeah.
I think the look on his face was what said it all.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We will do our best.
Yeah. But one of the things that we're trying to do as well is that we want to, I'm not going to say change the narrative, but we just want to tell our story. Mainstream media, Western media is going to tell it the way that they want to tell it for whatever their ends to the means is, and that's fine. We're here, and we know our people in the U.S. are looking for more, to do. They're looking for other places to go. They're looking at places that they can raise their families, go to school, do these types of things. And we just happen to be here and see it for ourselves. And we're like, you know what? Guess what our people would love? They would love to go somewhere different. They would love to meet their cousins over here in South Africa. They would love to eat some of this good food, eat all the hog maws. You know what I mean? They would love this. So we just decided to say, since we're business people at heart, let us put something together for our people to be able to say, hey, you know what? I don't know about all of this, but this is what I want to do. And that's when you contact us. Talk to me, you talk to Tasha. We got a few other people that we deal with, and then we can make it happen for you.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Let's see. Again, for those that are, like I said, just came on board, this is our website. So if you can go to our website, you get a lot of information in there. And if you're looking to try to travel anytime, let us know. The good part about all of this is that we got packages that are ready to go now. So if you're looking at coming to South Africa, we got packages. We got packages just coming out of just everywhere. And when I say that, I mean that if you're looking at, let me give you a great example. Let's say you're in America, like, man, I really don't want to deal with this cold weather in January because it's going to be cold. I don't care where you're at. It's going to be cold. And I really want to come to South Africa. Don't wait till December 23rd to try to say, okay, I want to come to South Africa, because if you know now, you can go ahead and put your deposit down, which you can read it across the bottom. Put your deposit down and then start making payments. That's your payment plan. So you don't have to ask us about a payment plan, because that's what you're going to be able to do. And as long as you take care of it, how many days prior?
30 days.
30 days prior to you getting here, you're flying and you're coming here. And why is it's freezing in the States, and you hear about the nor'easters and things like, what else?
I remember those things.
Yeah, my God, ice storms, and like last year, Texas, I was looking at that thing, and my daughter lives in Texas, and I was looking at that thing, and I was like, wow, what's going on? Because it's Texas, it doesn't really freeze over like that.
Yeah.
But it got cold, and it was 93, 94 degrees here. Nice.
And I'm sitting here thinking about, the time my little Fiat got snowed in, and it was the top part of the car because it was so much snow. And now the complete opposite. You're over here, in the pool, sweating, enjoying the sunshine, and drinking as many gin and tonics as you can.
Yeah, because over here, gin is a thing. I know in the States, we're like, gin, that's drink that
Gin
one.
is like
It's proper here.
That's a thing.
It's very proper.
I try all the gins. Or at least I try to.
See, we're trying to be professional up in here now. So, but again, you'll find a lot of information that you're going to need to reach out to us on our social media platforms. Instagram, you can hit us at the Real South Africa. Is that right? The Real South Africa. Yeah, that's right.
The 18th.
18. Yeah, it should be the Real South Africa 18. I'm so sorry. I can sort that out later. And then, of course, for those that don't know about our YouTube channel, go to our YouTube channel. It's awesome. Everything is there. Everything you want to know. From what I was told, that you will watch videos for like hours and on end, kind of like Game of Thrones. I'm not sure because I've never seen it.
I've binge watched Game of Thrones. All the seasons in 1 week.
Yeah,
I do not recommend that.
Of course, and then of course we're on Twitter as well. We have a few more questions coming in, so I definitely want to go there. But I want you to understand that how can I explain it? What we try to do is when you're here, we don't even try, we do, because there's a lot of Airbnbs and things like that. We don't really get involved with them because we've even had people that come not with us and they're like, oh, I got my picture of my Airbnb, but it actually looks like this. Look at my phone. This is what it looks like. Yeah. Is there any way you can help us find somewhere proper to stay? Yeah. So we don't mess too much with Airbnbs. So we do have contracts with proper 4- and 5-star hotels and establishments. They know who we are. So we get good rates, we get good deals. So we pass that along to you guys. So, and of course the breakfast is always included.
Gotta eat.
Yeah, you gotta eat and whatnot. And then of course we put you in a good location. This is what I mean by good location. You don't want to be in a hotel and there's nothing around, and then every time you want to go do anything, you got to jump in. You got to get transportation, which costs more money. Yeah. So we put you in a space where you can, because you're going to have some free time. You're going to have some, some downtime. Tell them about this, Tasha.
So we put you in a location where basically everything you need is within steps of your door. So shopping mall, shopping center, restaurants, boutiques, anything that you can even think of is usually within walking distance, even doctor's offices and spas. So we do all that so that when you do need to leave the facility, that you have proper transportation. So we have very nice vehicles for you guys to get into. Normally BMWs, Mercedes, or Mazdas. Every now and then you might get a smaller sedan, but it just depends. But we try and make sure your transportation is sorted. And even with COVID right now, the transportation still adheres to COVID standards. So all the cars are sanitized regularly. They're not going to be picking you up and dropping somebody off without sanitizing in between. If you have a driver, your driver is going to stay with you the entire time, depending on how we set it up, or you can have a guide. And there is a difference between a guide and a driver. So our guides are very well versed in the history of South Africa. They love to share with you. You can ask them anything. Some of our favorite guides basically know more than you could ever. They can take you all the way back to like the Khoisan people here in South Africa and bring you all the way up to 2021. So those are the types of things that you would never really get to have firsthand, someone that's here telling you their actual story and their history, firsthand. And they actually know it. And that's the beauty of that. So in your free time, you'll be able to walk around, see some stuff, and then when it's time to go out, have a proper driver and guide. So that's kind of how we set things up. So I don't know if that answered your question.
No, that's good. That's good. Angela Bowens, her question's up there. Hello, the Real South Africa family. Hey. Said, do you assist diaspora with short-term stays for about 6 months? The answer to that question is it's called info@therealsouthafrica.com. If you shoot us an email, let us know exactly what you're trying to do. We can assist. We do what we can, for our people. We have
baby girl.
Yeah, so we have a staff, and whatnot that takes care of that. But we can definitely do that. But you have to reach out to us in the meanwhile. So yeah, we can definitely do that. So, but again, so we try to sort you out the entire time while you're here. So like I said, it's just like almost being taken care of. And then we show up from time to time to check on you, see how you're doing. You know, a lot of us old heads know about what's his name, Mr. Rourke from Fantasy Island. So I just show up and be like, and they'll be like, you know, you're so into what you're doing. You're like, oh, like because you may have forgot about us, but we didn't forget about you guys.
Sure.
And so we show up at your dinner, or we show up at your in-town event or something like that, and you're like, oh, okay, and I'd be like, how you doing? Oh man, this is great. You know, I think one of the funniest things that I still get a kick out of is everybody who doesn't want to go on a safari. It is the most hilarious thing in the world, and the reason why I'm saying this, and I think it's funny, is because nobody wants to, when they're on the phone talking to us, nobody wants to go on safari. Like not one person. However, once they get here and they go, they always say that's the best part. That was the best part of the trip. And then they're like, oh, I see why you was being so adamant about going
on safari.
Yeah, they're like, why were you so adamant? You know, you was borderline, you know, pissing me off. And I'm like, no, you need to do that. And then they get here and they're like, man, that was the best. So it happens. It happens. But so when you do come, just I'm going to talk to you bad about coming on a safari. People love it. I'm just trying to tell you. Yeah. Yeah. But this has been pretty fun and so forth. So we'll go a little longer. We'll take a few more questions, and then maybe we can do this again at some other point.
Yeah, we'll do it again. Okay. Let's see if you guys have any additional questions. Let me see what else is up there.
Oh, I gotta think. So again, you know, we really do appreciate all of those people who've done their first impression videos. Like I said, I can't stress it enough. And if you haven't seen those videos, go to our YouTube channel. It's a real robust channel. Go there and you can watch those videos. And it's from their perspective. It's like, hey, I asked them a few questions and they just start talking about their experience. And like I said, they all had a good experience. And one of the best things I like to say is the fact that they always say, you know, if it wasn't for you guys, and it makes us feel good because we put a lot of work into making sure everybody that comes here to the Republic of South Africa is well taken care of. The South Africans that support what we do, it matters. It matters, and they do care because they want our people to come back home. Mm-hmm. They want us to come home. You know, people think, people don't realize that most South Africans aren't indigenous to South Africa. They migrated from the West. There's a lot of them. And, you know, you can do all you guys have, Googles and things like that. You can figure it out. But, you know, so they're super excited that when you choose out of all the places we can go to come to South Africa, it is what it is. Yeah. So as the Zulu warrior says, he's probably from KZN, KwaZulu Natal. I know your channel has been a great source of information. Thank you, sir. I'm assuming it's a sir. It could be a female warrior.
It
could be
anything.
Yeah. Yeah, especially these days. No, it was Women's Month. I think the month of August here.
It ended yesterday.
Yeah, in South Africa is Women's Month and whatnot. So we show all our respect. So okay. What else, Tasha? What else can you think of besides the food?
Besides the food and the the booze and the people.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's a really simple, I won't say way of life, because you really have the opportunity to choose whichever lifestyle you think you want to live. I mean, people are asking about farming. Yes, you can grow your own food. You can grow it in a tire on a balcony of your apartment. People grow food all the time, and you don't need a large garden to get food here. And they'll even bring you the dirt from Venda if you want a proper garden.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, whatever kind of
First of all, you
lifestyle,
need a vendor friend.
you gotta have a vendor friend.
Yeah.
They will make sure that you do it right. So any lifestyle you want to live. I mean, you want to live out in the woods, you want to buy a lodge out in the bush and just be on your own in the middle of nature, that's an option. You want to live in the middle of a city, that's an option. And you can do all of that without feeling like the stress that comes with, the stress that comes with being Black in America.
Yeah.
So we won't really, go into that. You know what it is.
Yeah. Just keep your hands on the steering wheel.
Yeah. Don't make any eye contact.
Yeah.
But you can really choose whatever it is, you want to be, do, desire. Like, that's the whole point of why we do what we do, just to give you an option to say, what is it that I want to be? And I'm going to put this in quotes, when I grow up. And I say that because a lot of people are at retirement age now. They're getting to that point to where they're like, okay, I've clicked and checked all the boxes. What am I going to do now? Well, you should be coasting. You should be coasting. And the best way to coast is to get on one of those coasts, over in the Western Cape or over in Durban or over in the Eastern Cape. Just get your little spot, let the ocean do its job, and you just chill. Like, you have that option. If you want to grind, start another business or start a business, you have that option too. Yeah. Like, it really is a playground here. It really, really. So whatever imagination you have, whatever you can come up with, I would be like, don't knock it. Like, just see what's possible. Yeah, but you got to come here. You got to come here on a visit. You can't just see it just keep standing over there year after year after year and not coming to see it for yourself. Because as Trevor Noah said, South Africa ain't waiting on no one. No, it's not. We've been to the Free State, by the way.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was looking at the question right here. Sorry. When you guys are visiting Bloom, South Africa is not only Joburg, Cape Town.
You're right.
And KZN. It is not. It is not. But that's what people know. We get them in, get them in where the airports are, and then eventually they'll be like, okay, I'm here. And then eventually one day they'll be like us, and they'll be like, you know what? Yep. I don't landed. I don't went and got a rental car, and I'm gone. And they got a rental car and they went and got a cooler box and they threw it in the back. At
that point, you are full-fledged, ready to go.
We are South Africans.
I will answer this one question I saw a little ways back about driving here. It's actually not that hard. I mean, if you can drive a car in the U.S., you can drive a car here. I would say practice a little bit first. I mean, Mark made sure I practiced for a little bit.
Yeah, make sure she's good.
He's an 88 Mike. He can drive anything. I always tell people I think he can fly a plane, but he'll deny it, but I think he probably can. So he just made sure I could drive around the estate first. And then at one point he was like, all right, Chief, we about to get on this highway. And now I drive everywhere and I love it. So just give yourself some time. It's not anything you need to be, scared about. You need to know where the robots are, AKA traffic lights, stoplights, so that you don't make a left turn the wrong way. So driving is pretty easy. So at least it is for me anyway. Okay. Yes, that's a good answer.
But there's a question. Is there an area where senior citizens live? 100%. They live in South Africa. No, I'm not trying to be funny, but they do. But no, I mean, there are places they have states where they just have that they have senior citizens. Mm-hmm. But maybe I can get a South African to answer this. But I would say that senior citizens are probably the most important people in the country for a reason. I mean, they do a lot. The pensioners, let's go with that. They call them pensioners here. But they do a lot. So they're not like in the U.S. where you get to a point and now you got to kind of like go over there and you're marginalized. Go-go is integral in daily life here in South Africa. And I'm an African American. I can see that from way over here. Well, I'm here, but I see them and whatnot. So, but there are areas, but mom's always around. Nobody, they don't do like we do in the States, and we just put them away and say, okay, because I'm almost there. I got a couple more years, and then I'll be put away. It's okay. I don't care. Let me go. Okay.
We're gonna let you stay out for a little while.
Yeah. So that's basically all we had in reference besides the food. The food is absolutely amazing. I think it's something that is honestly is. I mean, don't come over here just to get chicken. You know,
Although the chicken is
absolutely
very
amazing.
good.
You know, don't just say, oh, I just want to come get me some fried chicken, because then I'll take you over to what's that place called? Chicken Licking.
Oh.
But we do try to take care of our guests and based off of what they are looking at trying to do. So everybody's tour isn't the same. It's never everybody's experience hasn't. I don't think really has been the same. They may have some same experiences, but they get an opportunity to do other things. Like if you look at some of our videos, Marie from Brooklyn.
Oh.
Yeah, she went and got. I mean, she got her hair did. She met somebody she met a South African in the mall, and she was like, "Where you get that hair done?" And they start doing that girl talk. And Marie was like, she came to my hotel or my house, as she said, and I paid her a little bit of rands and put that money. I mean,
her hair looked good.
Yeah, and she got her hair done, and I think there was a few other people got their hair done, and then somebody else.
Almost the last few women that have come here, like they found somebody to do their hair quick. Yeah. I'm like, y'all are on it, and they love the whole experience. So
yeah,
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And then what was that? And then I think some people come here and they like, they can, we got a lot of brands here. I mean, we got the brands in the U.S. Then we have all our South African brands as well. I've found that people are like, they're getting their own clothes made while they're here, getting it either shipped to them before they leave, or shipped to them, or they pick it up before they leave. Yes. So our packages are very immersive. Yeah. They're very immersive. We're always going to over deliver. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We're always going to over deliver, and so just keep that in mind. Yeah, it is what it is.
I'm sorry. I'm still reading the comments. Yes, he is a rib man, and yes, we probably eat.
Yeah.
So
I think I don't know what order, but I think food is either number 1 or 2 on the list, because people are they're so shocked. They're like, the food is so good and it's so inexpensive, and they're like, those two things don't go together. And the food is so good, and then they'll be talking to you, and then they'll trip and say, oh, but the food I had last night, but then the food I had the other day was even, So again, you're going to have a great time here in the Republic of South Africa, especially if you never ever been here before, and it's not how can I say, this is South Africa. That's all I can say. This is South Africa. It's not America, for sure. And you can come here, especially with us, and feel very comfortable. And we're good. You're good. So obviously that's pretty much everything that we have. And I want to say we totally appreciate you guys coming to this live. Obviously it was very successful. We will do another live. So we will chat with you later, and have a good day if you're in the US, and if you're here in South Africa,
go to bed.
Good night.
Good night, guys.